It's always difficult when you lose in the first round. It's hard to gain any perspective whatsoever on their season. For us, it was disappointing, but I thought that Northwestern came out and really played well. They were aggressive from the beginning of the game, stayed aggressive throughout the match, and we could really never get our feet under us. So, I thought they did a really nice job against us. And, we could never really gain our rhythm. In Game 3, we kind of made a comeback. They spun the dial. We didn't get the right matchups. We just made too many errors. They really defended well and served well. And we didn't counter. And I think that was the tail of the match. They had a better mindset going in the match than we did.
What were the main differences that allowed you guys to come back in that third set? What did you do?
Well, I felt like the serving for us wasn't aggressive enough, and there was one particular player we were really trying to get after. So I was able to spin the rotations 3 spots, and we got the right matchup there. So that made a big difference. They weren't able to pass the ball as well, and so their offense was a little more predictable. And so that helped us quite a bit. Game 4, they spun the dial, and we didn't get the right matchup. And even though it was close, we weren't able to play steady enough at the end of the game. Couldn't score enough. They defended well at the end of the game. We just couldn't score points.
Would you have liked to have seen more offense out of, obviously when you had a big
Yeah, we really struggled offensively. And a lot of that they served much more aggressive than we had anticipated. And what I've seen on film, I really thought that they got after us. And I felt that affected our passers, not only affected our passers, but the passing right into attacking. So for someone like Tiffany, it really affected the way that she was offensively because she struggled as a serve receiver.
Just how tough is it to have another first round loss?
It's really tough. No one expects going to the tournament and losing the first round. No one wants to. It just hurts.
Just obviously Northwestern hit a high percentage early on, and just how efficient were they offensively?
Pardon me?
Just how efficient was Northwestern offensively?
Well, the first and second game, I think they were hitting for a pretty high percentage. We didn't stop anything, and they were pretty much in system throughout the match, the first 2 games. And again, they were really aggressive, starting with their serving. And the serving, I've always felt that serving, if you're aggressive in the serving, then the rest of your game follows. That was certainly the case tonight.
I know obviously you guys didn't want to look ahead too much. Was that any kind of a factor? Or?
I don't think so. I mean, I like giving teams credit. Credit is due, and I tell you, we got a little ambush tonight. I mean, Northwestern was really good, and I think that they were mentally really ready to come out and play an aggressive match against a team like us. I felt like Keeler was winning the locker room, so the only way we're going to beat Arizona is if we are the aggressive team from the very beginning, and they certainly were. I'm not sure if he said those words, but his team certainly played like that. That kept us on his heels and really kind of dictated the complexion of that match. It's hard to gain perspective when you lose in the first round, especially in a senior team like us. Both teams were a lot of seniors, a lot on the line because you put so much time and sacrifice for the players that are in your program that have been there for so long. But like everything in life, it doesn't always work out the way you want. But I'm proud of the way that we competed, and now we go home and wish everyone the best of luck in the tournament.
Whitney, can you talk about Northwestern's aggressiveness and how that affected you guys?
I think it just got us out of our system. Their middles ran really quickly, and we just couldn't catch up, I feel like.
Can you talk also about that third set and how you guys came back into the match?
Yeah, I think our passing picked up a little in this third set along with our serving. That gave us the advantage, but I don't know.
Coach, you brought in Maddie midway through the match. What did you want to get from her?
Maddie provides a little more offense behind the setter, and so sometimes you just make some changes just to try to change some things up to give a different look. Primarily that was the reason I went with it.
You got a little more offense from, like Kaylin and that.
Kaylin played well. I mean, it was, for her, been a long, arduous road for her, considering how she started the season. But she finished off well. I'm proud of the way she worked hard tonight and scored some points for us. And so it was a good finish for her.
Coach, you mentioned obviously the serving, and Whitney, was there anything about Northwestern that kind of surprised you, or?
We covered what they did and scouting report pretty well. We never get a chance to do it live against the actual team until it's a game time, so it's always a little different. But I think we knew what we had to do. We just didn't execute at a high enough level at that point in certain times during the game.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.